Hey everyone! You'll never guess what an incredible day I had. So, yesterday, my dad and I went to the amusement park, and it was absolutely mind-blowing. Seriously, from start to finish, it was one adventure after another. The moment we stepped out through the gates, I was hit by this wave of excitement, the sounds of laughter, the smell of popcorn and funnel cakes, and the colorful rides spinning everywhere. I turned to Dad and said, "This is going to be the best day ever." Our first mission, conquer the biggest roller coaster in the park, the Twister Tornado. As we waited in line, which felt like forever, I started thinking, "Dad, how do roller coasters stay on the tracks when they go upside down?" He grinned and said, "It's all about physics, buddy. Centripetal force keeps us safely in our seats." Centripetal force? Sounds like a magic spell if you ask me. Maybe the coaster is held together by invisible, super strong magnets. What do you guys think? Actually, I'm planning to dive into that in a future video where I'll explore the science behind roller coasters. So if you're curious like I am, make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell icon so you don't miss it. Trust me, it's going to be epic. Finally, it was our turn. We strapped in, and as we climbed that first massive hill, I felt butterflies doing cartwheels in my stomach. I glanced at Dad. He looked a bit nervous, which was funny because he's always so fearless. "You okay?" I asked. He nodded. "Of course. Just enjoying the view." "Sure, Dad." The ride was insane. Loops, corkscrews, sudden drops. I screamed my lungs out, partly from fear, but mostly from pure exhilaration. When we got off, Dad's hair was sticking up in all directions. I laughed. "Dad, you look like you just got struck by lightning." He chuckled. "Well, that's what happens when you defy gravity." After that adrenaline rush, we decided to take a break and grab some snacks. As we munched on cotton candy, because who can resist that fluffy goodness, I spotted the ring toss challenge. The prizes were these giant stuffed animals, including a colossal teddy bear that was practically calling my name. "Dad, can we treat?" I asked eagerly. He smiled. "Go for it." I tossed ring after ring, but none landed. Frustrated, I was about to give up when Dad said, "Remember when you practiced hula hooping? Use that same wrist action." I took a deep breath, focused, and tossed. The ring sailed through the air and, clink, landed perfectly around the bottle. "I did it!" I shouted. The attendant handed me the gigantic teddy bear. Victory! Oh, speaking of challenges, I'm thinking of starting a series where I try out different carnival games and share tips on how to win. Would you guys be into that? Let me know in the comments below. Just then, my phone buzzed. It was Mom FaceTiming us. She couldn't come because she had a big presentation at work. She asked, "Are you boys having fun?" I showed her the teddy bear. "Look what I won!" She laughed. "That's awesome. But don't let your dad eat too much junk food." Dad rolled his eyes playfully. Mom's always looking out for us. She prefers the calmer rides, like the carousel. She says the up and down horses are more her speed. After we said goodbye to Mom, Dad and I headed to the splash zone, a water ride where you get absolutely soaked. As we were getting in, I remembered how Mom always tells me not to get my clothes dirty. Too late for that, I thought. The ride was a blast. We came out dripping wet. Dad joked, "Good thing we didn't bring Mom. She'd have a heart attack." By the way, if you want to see more of my family adventures, I'm putting together a video montage of our funniest moments. So don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss it when it drops next week. Next up was the haunted house. Now I have a confession. I get a little jumpy with spooky stuff, but Dad insisted it would be fun. As we walked through dark corridors with eerie sounds and creepy decorations, I clung to Dad's arm. Suddenly a skeleton popped out and I let out a yelp. Dad laughed. "Gotcha?" I huffed. "Not funny." But we both ended up laughing. After surviving the haunted house, we needed something to calm our nerves. Or at least I did. So we decided to ride the Ferris wheel. As we ascended, the whole park spread out beneath us, a sea of lights and colors. It was breathtaking. I said to Dad, "Imagine if we could see this view every night." He replied, Well, maybe you can if you become an astronaut. That reminded me. I've always wanted to go to space. Actually, I'm working on a video about space exploration and my visit to the planetarium. If that sounds cool, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out. As the sun began to set, the park transformed into this magical place with twinkling lights everywhere. We grabbed some hot dogs for dinner and I asked Dad, "Do you think days like this will happen when I'm older?" He smiled. "I hope so. Maybe one day you'll bring your kids here." Whoa, that's a wild thought. Before we left, we played one last game, a water balloon race. And guess who won? Me! Dad demanded a rematch, but I told him we'd save it for next time. As we were heading out, I thought about how much fun the day was and how many adventures we had. I can't wait to share more stories with you all. Thanks so much for coming along on this adventure with me. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And remember, I'm working on those new videos about roller coasters and space, so hit the bell icon to get notified when they're up. Oh, and I'd love to hear from you. What's your favorite ride at the amusement park? Do you prefer thrilling rides like me and Dad, or calmer ones like Mom? And have you ever had a funny experience at a haunted house? Tell me all about it in the comments below. Until next time, keep exploring and stay curious. See you soon.